Good day, everyone. We're from Pancake, and today for our assignment 2, ECC3204, Computer Architecture, we'll be presenting on smartwatches. So first off, we would like to start with the introduction of our team members. As you can see on the slide, we have 5 team members. The first one is Qayyum, and then we have Shafiqah, me, myself, Ayin, SYAQIRA, and also SYAMIMI. So these are the contents that we would like to present in today's presentation. We'll start with what is smartwatch, and we'll go to smartwatch history and the product that we chose. And also we will talk about the similarities and also differences between the two products. And we'll be highlighting the SWOT analysis and several highlights on the product and also improvements and some meeting minutes. And lastly, we'll be jumping into conclusion. So what is a smartwatch? So a smartwatch is a wearable computing device that closely resembles a wristwatch. So in addition to telling time, many smartwatches now are Bluetooth capable, as they are capable to extend the capabilities of the wearer's smartphone to the watch. So in such a case, the wearer can use the watch's interface to answer and make phone calls from the smartphone, read text messages, listen to music, ask the digital assistant questions, and etc. So now we're going to dive into the history of the smartwatch. So we have several sections. As you can see here, we have the earliest 1990s, 2000s, and in the further slides, we have the history for 2010s and also 2020s. So for the earliest, so the first smartwatch was created by the Hamilton Watch Company called Pulsar. This company is later acquired by Seiko. So this is the first watch with the user programmable memory. So it can be used to store 24 digits, and it also has memory bank. So later in 1983, there's a watch called Data 2000. It came with an external keyboard for the data entry, and the data was synced from the keyboard to the watch via wireless docking. So also in 1980s, Casio began to enter the smartwatch market. They made computer watches. The most notable collection in Casio was the Data Bank series. So next, we'll jump into the 1990s history of smartwatch. In 1994, there's a smartwatch called Timex Data Link with wireless data transfer mode. And this wireless data transfer mode is used to transfer the data from PC to smartwatch. In 1998, the Linux wristwatch was built and presented at IEEE ISSCC 2000. And this is the first Linux wristwatch because in the future, they've developed the same smartwatch under Linux. And in 2019, Samsung also entered the market, and they launched the world's first watch phone, which is the SPHWP10. So in 2010, in the 2000s, the first smartwatch was being created by the IBM. So IBM displayed a prototype that ran Linux with upgrade features. I'm sorry, there's a typo here. So as you can see, in 1998, Linux wristwatch, the first one, but in 2000, IBM took the prototype and they upgraded the Linux wristwatch. So the battery life is longer, and they have more memories compared to the previous one. This one has 8 megabyte memories, and they use Linux 2.2. And also this watch is called as WatchPad. And further that year, they also upgraded the watch using the Linux 2.4. And it's called WatchPad. And in this year they collaborated with the Citizen Watch and Company to produce WatchPad. So this WatchPad has Glendar software, and it has 8 megabyte RAM and also 16 meg flash memory. So in 2000, Epson Seiko introduced a chronobit, and in 2003, Fossils released a RISC PDA that ran Palm OS, the operating system. And in 2003, Microsoft also entered the market and released Spot. Spot stands for Smart Personal Object Technology. So they aim to personalize every household electronics and every other gadgets to the watch. In 2004, Sony Ericsson with Fossils, they collaborated and they released a MBW100 with Bluetooth features. And then 2009, there's a smartwatch with SIM card by Erman van den Berg. And next, this one is during the 2000s and also 2020s. In 2012, the 90 Plus field band was introduced. So this new field band can track steps and offers automatic sensing using Bluetooth. In 2012, Sony again come up with the smartwatch. So it acted as a companion for Xperia smartphone range, but it was a flop because it only able to comply to the Xperia smartphone. In 2013, Pebble also created a smartwatch to act as remote controller for smartphones and devices such as GoPro camera. 2013, Samsung entered the market. They built a Samsung Galaxy Wear. It was a flop at first, but they managed to upgrade the smartwatch and managed to beat Apple. In 2014, Samsung Gear Fit was introduced, and it paved the way for more versions of their Fig to be created, because as you can see, Samsung produced a lot of their Fig versions. And 2014 Moto 360 was created, but it was so expensive, so it was a flop. In 2014 as well, Samsung Gear S pursued 3G connectivity at that time, and they promised the ability to operate without the smartphone. And from 2015 to 2021, which is now, 2021 to 2022, Apple Watch and Samsung Watch ruled the market, because they produce a lot of upgraded type of smartwatch which can fit to our nowadays features, nowadays requests. And that's it for the history of the smartwatch. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Thank you. So I will continue this presentation. So after discussing, we have decided to choose Apple Watch Series 7 and Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE to be compared. Next. So these are the similarities between the Apple Watch Series 7 and Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE. The first one we can do in terms of the battery, both are using wireless charging and have the same type, which are lithium ion and non-removable. For the CPU, for both of the smartwatch are using dual core, which means that it has two distinct processors that work simultaneously in the same integrated circuit. And lastly, in terms of the wireless LAN, both are Wi-Fi 802.11 B/G/N, dual band for both. Next, we will look into the differences. We have highlighted a few points for the differences. The first one is for the operating system. For Apple Watch Series 7, it uses Watch OS 8.0. Meanwhile, for Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, it uses Android Wear OS. And next is chipset. Apple Watch use Apple S7 and Samsung Galaxy Watch use Exynos W920. For the GPU, Apple Watch uses Power VR and Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE are using Mali G68. For the internal memory and RAM, Apple Watch have a higher internal memory, which is 32 GB compared to the Samsung Galaxy Watch, which is 16 GB. However, the RAM for the Samsung Galaxy Watch are higher, which are 1.5 GB RAM compared to the Apple Watch, which are 1 GB RAM, which means that the processor in the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE is slightly faster compared to Apple Watch. For the resolution, Apple Watch Series 7 are 484 times 396 pixels, meanwhile for Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 450 times 450 pixels. For the price, Apple Watch series are slightly higher compared to the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE, which are more affordable. And lastly, for the size, Apple Watch Series 7 are bigger, which is 1.9 inch, meanwhile Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE are smaller, which is 1.2 inch. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, so now I will explain about the SWOT analysis of Apple Watch Series 7. First, we will start with strength. It is fast charging, so it only takes 45 minutes to go from 0 to 80% charge. Next, the Apple Watch Series 7 have health, fitness, and heart tracking, so the user can measure their blood oxygen and track down their workout or sleep schedule. We can also swim with the Apple Watch Series 7 on because it is water resistant for about 50 meters and it is crack resistant. In addition, the user doesn't need to touch the screen to see the time because it is always on Retina display. Lastly, the user can leave their iPhone at home because of their mobile connectivity. We will proceed to weaknesses of Apple Watch Series 7. The battery of Apple Watch Series 7 only a day's worth of battery life, and it is incompatible with other software because it can connect with Apple product only. For opportunities, because Apple have a highly qualified professional, so they can expand and upgrade their product parallel with the expectation from their customer. Then for utilize artificial intelligence, AI, they should focus on their AI portfolio to grab the opportunities. Lastly, for the threat, because of the advancement in technology, there are tough competition to stay ahead. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
So for Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic LTE, the strength is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 have BIA measurement. BIA stands for bioelectrical impedance analysis. You just have to use 2 fingers in 50 seconds to detect it. And then you have ECG certified, and then easy to make phone calls even if it is unconnected to the phone since it has the LTE. Widely accepted OS, and then equipped with eSIM. Okay, so for the weaknesses, it has a shorter battery life when LTE is on. So you can easily turn it on and off, depends on how you want to use it. Okay, next, do not have Google Assistant support, just have Bixby, which is Samsung's voice assistant. And then it makes user feel stressed with the body composition because of the, it can check the user's body composition. Okay, so next can be used for Samsung Mobile only. So for the opportunities, Samsung should make it wide range of phone users and then utilize artificial intelligence. Okay, so for the threats on design and build quality by other higher end manufacturer. Okay, so I pass to the next presenter.
So hello everyone. So today I'm going to share about the highlights, the processor benchmarking. So about this slideshow that we want to share with all of you today is actually, we can see here the benchmarking between Apple S7, the first one here. This is for the Apple Series 7 smartwatch, and here we have Samsung Exynos W920, and it's the level of the benchmark for Samsung is slightly higher compared to Apple S7. So that means Apple S7 has better performance in terms of the graphic cards and so on. So yes, so actually what I'm trying to say here, Apple S7 has a better processor compared to Samsung Exynos. So all right, so let's go to the improvements on Apple Smartwatch Series 7. So there are 3 improvements that we can actually do, right? So first of all, the thing that actually make a lot of people feel lazy to do is to charge the smartwatch. If we look at the smartwatch battery life for the Series 7, it only lasts long for only 18 hours. Yes, that is the maximum usage. So what Apple should do is they should increase the battery capacity. Yes, it is true that Apple Series 7 compared to the previous Series 6, 5, and later, it have actually Series 7 have a fast charging. Even though they have fast charging, but the battery capacity is still the same. So yes, Apple need to do something about that to increase, maybe so that it can increase the battery life longer, maybe 3 days, right? For Xiaomi, like Xiaomi, right? Xiaomi, they have the battery life of 1 week, so that's cool. Next, experience of daily use with some apps. So not all application is suitable though. Yes, it is true. Sadly, Apple only with Apple, they have their own, gangs. So and the next one is the affordability. So yeah, it's true. Everyone use Apple. Yeah, it looks like, oh, you are a rich guy. Nah, that's basically true. But if you want the best, you should do for the best, right? But at least Apple should do something about that. They should actually do some light version of Apple smartwatch. Maybe they can do Apple smartwatch Series 7 Lite, so that a cheaper version the student can afford. Maybe they can get around 1,000. No, Apple won't do that price, but I believe around that price. Yeah, they could lower the price though. I'm saying. Okay, so next one, improvement on Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 LTE. Also 3 improvements. Okay, so the first one is no Google Assistant was offered, only Bixby that has been mentioned by Shaf just now. So what the improvement that can be made is both. Yes, it is true. Bixby is great, but Google Assistant is greater. I'm not saying Bixby is bad, but Google Assistant have more features to access something like they can integrate with more Google equipments such as Alexa and so on. Is it Alexa? Haha. All right, you guys can check that. And this is a quiz for you guys. Okay, so next, Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 LTE should improve on the watch strip attachment. Yes, this is really compulsory because why? For the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 LTE, it is harder for the user to actually replace. They need tools to eject one pinpoint. They need to actually take one tool and then they need to screw that point at the smartwatch only. And yes, that's the only way for the strip can be changed. But for the Apple Smartwatch Series 7 and other series, they can just slide the strip easily, just like that. So it's more convenient in Series 7 compared to Samsung Watch 4. And the last one, compatibility. The watch should allow smartphones with Google mobile services. Right. For this one, sadly, for the smartphones without GMS, this is especially for smartphones. For the smartwatch to connect with smartphones, if they don't have these features, sadly, you guys cannot connect this watch to your smartphone. Yeah, too bad. So this is our meeting minutes. Yep, we have 4 meeting minutes here. You can check this. Okay. By the way, there. All right. So this is our meeting minutes, guys. So actually, we have 4 meeting minutes. We will include these meeting minutes inside the submission. We will share the attachment later. Okay. So to conclude, the comparative analysis of both smartwatch, which is the first one is Apple Series 7, and the second one is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 LTE, classic LTE, has been successfully compared. And yes, the students have learned both computer architecture about both. And so yeah, choose your hero, choose your smartwatch, and any question, can just ask us. All right. So that's all from us. Thank you guys and have a nice day.